Greetings, everyone. Excuse me. This is me, Zara Jawad here. Zara Berserk. Hope you can, sorry. Hello, everyone. This is me. Greetings. Um, okay, my voice is going to come in this video. So before that, greetings, everyone. This is me, Zara Jawad. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. I have a new mic and all. So just testing it also. Uh, oh, mic and all. Okay. I would appreciate it if you participate after understanding what my fight was against evil, my battle. So I realized that doing law, becoming a lawyer was not enough, that I also had to bring after doing it from London. So also had to get spiritual power to change myself, and so to realize, how to do justice, that training, rigorous training. But when I went back to my residence country, that was Pakistan, because my mother was Pakistani. And we lived there most of our lives. So my father being from another country, and for I think I'm not going to say where this time. I'm scared because I have these threats. Schizophrenia they gave me. So I feel they gave me schizophrenia. Someone used black magic on me, and there was telepathy coming, and a lot of these things happening. And even Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi brought his friend Arbab Shah's brother, who was good. He was a Muslim, but not a Shia Muslim. He was from the Maiman community, Abdul Qadir Jilani's follower. So he could remove spirits and all that. And he said that I had a spirit on me attached for, I don't know, longest time ever. And that's why I had chronic fatigue. The chronic fatigue, it's also called ME. So all that was going on. And sometimes I'll be really fast and sometimes I'll be really slow, and I'll take pauses because sometimes it's too much for my heart and mind to take. So this happened, and I felt like someone, a God, they told me through telepathically now, since Yusuf Zaidi had come and all this. And before that also, like I had lost grace on the internet, uh, right? As if I felt like my grace was snatched away from me. Because, humiliation and all this, principle, about my principal, giving the feeling to me that someone connected with the principal is on that computer, Desi chat and all this. And the reason why I went to Desi chat was because, well, there were through Desi chat or what, I even met from London. No, we were emailing, and then we could talk, very quickly on the chat, in the chat rooms with a private ID box. So there I was told by my friend and colleague I mean, classmate who was in London, that before the degree came to me, reached me, that I had passed in my degree. I mean, what do you call it? Oh God, I can't even. So I had passed my law degree, law, and you know. So before the degree came to me, we communicated on Desi chat. So this is. Oh, it was a good thing, but then, people, also the world is full of evil. I feel a lot of treachery going on. No one able to help. Although there are some, the sincere people, salutations unending to you. So another thing is before I forget, that last time on my live stream somewhere, someone asked me, but what about Hindustan? Hindus are, you know, doing zulm, cruelty, human rights violations on and killing Muslims, or what are they doing? So if that's the case, like I also felt like you can speak your mind out. How do you say it about it? Human rights, like Haris Sultan. You can join Haris Sultan. You can join Army Nawabi. Uh, the thing, what do you call it? Influences a lot on YouTube, Twitter, and all this. But still, go on, do this. But my case is different. So first, I had to the Shia for the Shia genocide. A Shia lady had to go, who was in UK, had to seek recourse for a genocide in Pakistan against Shias from the British, you know, some someone there, right? So in a high position, or like I was telling my friend at that time, NGO, please. So there are, and if you can't get to the Indian court against the Muslims, what they do, violations against Muslims in India, Hindustan. The case is your case could be. You can reach United Nations. Pakistan has reached United Nations, right, against Kashmir, I think. Some time ago, they're always going there, reaching United Nations or somewhere. Sir, Mr. Arif Ajakia was saying that. And they've made a big noise about the Kashmir against the Indian soldiers and all this. So this case, this is my case, which was spiritual and metaphysical, and then I became schizophrenic. So in order to avoid these controversies, more and more controversies, and the world is full of evil, and then someone telling me that you want to take help from international internet, there's international mafia. Pakistani was telling me. So God knows what's happened to Mr. Putin. He was one of the best presidents, and now look what has happened. All of a sudden, he's turned it's turned against him, and he's become a monster, tyrant, killing. You don't know what's happening in the world. They can change people. I don't know what they're doing. Mr. Putin was a very peaceful, very, sensible, best president, I felt. I even joined his YouTube Russian news to find out, following him. I really respected him highly. I felt he was one of the best presidents ever for the right now, and also in the world, the best president. So you see, people coming here. Okay, if you want to take a case, please take a case against Hindustan. I couldn't get up, after Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi came and what they did to me, and I was having. So it's my case is on the metaphysical level also. I couldn't. And then due to schizophrenia, you know what schizophrenia can do? It can give you delusion. This one is a black magician. Then I would be discredited forever. And if I was in Pakistan, I don't know where, nowhere. Even the normal cases in Pakistan fail in the judiciary. What General Pervez Musharraf had to do to the judiciary because of corruption and all this. He had to take the treason case on himself. So in Pakistan, we couldn't. So one thing at a time, please. If you want Hindustan, go to Hindustan, take help from Haris Sultan, human rights. If you feel they're hiding, Hindus are hiding. And the funny thing was that, no, I want. We had PIDC, right? And my father's friend's daughter used to say, Pakistan, India, dono chor. So please don't blame me for not speaking about against Hindus and this and that because I don't want my. I need to cut down on controversial issues in my life. I wanted to change myself and get the armor so that I could protect myself from these things, malicious people, get streetwise in Pakistan. Living in Pakistan, how it is. It's a lawlessness country. And they can do anything and everything. So please, I was for my case, I was saying initially that when I realized that no, this is not right. This is not be Fatma Zahra's help and disciple and all this. And then I would fall into because for a long I cannot take that to be in that stress. No, it is because desperation. You need a higher power. Power is something that we all need. We feel powerless. That's why sometimes I say that we believe in God, the all powerful, because of insecurities and all this. So when maybe there is no all powerful God, one God or something. So there was one person I couldn't answer that person properly who told me that why not Alamgir Hussain or someone. Sorry, I can't remember the person's. Probably can't remember exactly like properly. Whoever asked me or told me that what about the Hindu in Hindustan, Hindus killing Muslims? So please, initially, what you can do, what I even told Haris Sultan can do. Okay, yes, do the videos on YouTube and live streams and all this. Along with that, when you have a case, uh, why is it? You can take it to the Indian court, Supreme Court. Take it to the Supreme Court. I was going to ask the United Nations, but I just stopped in my track because this. I can't even go to the police and say that Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi came, and after 1-2 years, I realized that no, this is not right. And they were hidden, they were coming like this and putting his hand on his chin, beard, and all this indirect way. As for the Muslim leaders and the leaders, like what can I do? I mean, you see, I appealed to them on Facebook. I have Save Our World for Save Our World, Global Crime Prevention, and all that. So I'm not diplomatic. This is why I could get into trouble because my sheikhs. Okay, like the Amir, Qatar, GCC, oh, yes, I'm so honest. Honestly, please, brothers, leaders, Muslim leaders, please be honest. Tell me what's going on. Let's have an honest, caring, this, that. I'm not going to say it indirectly. Like there are some rulers, they want to look good. That's why they help their people, but they are. I'm very straightforward. That's how I want to be. So some things I felt living in Dubai and the UAE, my father's country, right? So I say directly against taxi drivers and all on Dubai RTA. Now RTA is indirectly perhaps going to get me. I don't know what. But my thing is that being honest, and I felt betrayed. But yes, the other organizations, government organizations, are very good, like DIWA and all the rest. And they've got an award for it from the Sheikh. So I'm a very direct person, sorry. And I don't have time for nonsense now. So whatever I suspect outside that this is wrong and that is wrong, maybe, yes, some people here will get offended, Arabs also. But sorry, you know. Um, so yes, my first step was to bring a change in myself, to protect myself first, and so that I can protect the others. And to find out what is this black magic? How can I stop this on the metaphysical level? Because I have cases in Pakistan I've seen people suffering because of this. And sometimes it could be, they say sometimes there's no black magic, only like I read an article on Shia website that only 99%, no, 1% of 100 comes to black magic. And there's no like evil eye kar diya hai, Asad Nasr ho gaya hai. So, I never did these things. I had stopped doing evil eye on me. Let's bring Bukhur, that from Iran or somewhere we get the Shias, Bukhur, and do this evil eye on me. And, I wasn't even giving charity like this that, oh, the evil eye on me should go out. I give charity like that. No, I gave charity. I started to discipline myself. Give charity not because you want the evil to come off you, but give charity because the person is to support the person, to support. Give charity for charity's sake. Who are those people who are deserving? So, this is how I used to discipline myself in my earlier years. When I realized that now it's not my parents who have a hold on me, but now I'm also responsible. I have to start becoming responsible. My thoughts, how I think, what I do. So be good for goodness' sake. But then in Islam, it's like for Allah's sake, you have to do it, not for goodness' sake. Who are you to do it for goodness' sake? Then, arrogance comes in. So I had to weigh the cons and pros and try to realize, okay, here I'm wrong then. Uh, because in my religion, it says, do it for Allah's sake and not for goodness' sake. And why this would bring arrogance in me. Oh, that I would start to think that I have a yearning to become a good person or something, or that I am a good person. And then not to accept the evil in the world. Not, and also pride comes in, not being able to accept the evil in the world. And then going into self-pity. Allah, poor me. You see, I did so much good and I still get this. And I did it for goodness' sake. So self-pity is a terrible thing, disease also, I feel. Oh God, don't let me bring that Surah Azab verse. So self-pity is a terrible thing. Okay, it's terrible, but now, thank God I read Jiddu Krishnamurti. So making statements like this and, that makes you like either self-pity yourself or some pride comes in, that I'm a good person, the rest are bad. So even in my life before, like, okay, I'm not boasting about it, but, to stop blaming people, first see where is the inside of me. Actually, in my Shia Islam also, There was a time when in the majlises, the Maulanas or started to say, there was one majlis, it was rampant now that, or something, that the evil, that, no, that you can be your best friend or you can be your worst enemy. And it's you. So concentrate on yourself. And then the contradiction occurred in me is that why then Yazid did this? Why is there evil outside? But first and foremost, purify yourself. Maybe the Quran ayats have missed, about that. So we jump to Yazid. We jump to saying that the enemy is outside. Your worst enemy is inside, right? That's what they used to say. And so like that, for example, what my point is about this, I hope you get it. So are we listening, Jiddu Krishnamurti? Are we listening to ourselves or because, many, many years, a friend of mine, ex-friend now she is, um, all these years she was very understanding, felt like, oh my God, yeah, Allah Mia ki gaye hai. She's, they say like in Urdu, cow of Allah, right? Innocent and this and no. So, all these years I was suffering mysticide and I really truly loved my teacher. And how I was suffering, I cannot tell you. So the separation, when I was 15 years old, it was my last birthday Mr. Sa came to. And there were some funny things going on there in my birthday. The guests, some of my friends also, they did. So you see, and I was threatened by their mother. She went to our mutual friend and said that she would do black magic on me. And I ignored that. I said, oh, God, black magic on me. I believe in God's glory so much. Black magic. I had heard that in my, so what? My grandmother, my father's mother, when she was in Karachi, I'd heard that. And another family member. So, I educated myself to this extent that no, if you believe in the glory of God, you're immune from all these things. God will protect you. And putting too much of your attention on evil is not good. So this is what I used to tell the people also who were close to me. Not going around saying, how do you believe, being smart and over smart and arrogant and all this, but for the betterment, that, you go for your own life. Forget this, the enemy is gone, it's no more. Get Surah Fusilat ayat. Those who say Allah, then remain steadfast on it. The angels descend on them saying, we are your friends in this life, in this world, and the year after. So all this, and none is granted is say what none is granted. Your enemy will become your bosom friend. So what was Imam Hussein's point in giving Ali Asghar in Karbala and appealing to the hearts, not only Ali Asghar, a 6 months old infant. When he took him for water, he wasn't giving him for suicide, but that they gave a spear on his neck. We're told. So what was his point in all this? So, I heard Christian Prince recently, I was there on his, that Jesus Christ, if you sum up the whole Bible in one, what Jesus Christ said, love your enemies. Imam Hussein proved to us what was he was trying to save Yazid's army, this is what I felt. What was he doing there? Without the sword, he was telling Hazrat Abbas not to sharpen your sword. Still, I find people in Pakistan and near and dear to me who think, oh, the enemy is there. And then when I read Caesar uh, Shakespeare in St. Joseph's College, I was like, right, you see? Then he becomes the enemy. Caesar becomes more after his death. His Anthony and all this and Shakespeare, Caesar, Caesar, right? Caesar becomes more uh, strong. Although they betrayed him, Anthony and Brutus, Etto, Brutus, and all this, but he becomes more stronger because in their minds they have that, it gets worse. I can't explain it right now properly. So thinking about your enemy is so strong, or like okay, in Caesar, there was another cause for that. Why Caesar became more stronger after his death. But here, the enemy, all the time you're thinking, jadoo hai on me, black magic on me, this on me, evil. Bahar niklo, a new guest comes. Nazar utaro, nazar ye karo, all this, right? So, no, no, this not my principal, and about, I'm not talking big, but at that time I was like, my principal said that she got this boil. She had something on her wedding night, and so under her eye. And so her mother said in 1962, when she got married, her mother said that a Nazar Bud, in Farsi, it means a Bastaki Farsi, or what do we say? Oh, well, my Farsi is terrible. We don't say Nazar Hast, right? We say Nazar Bud. Sorry, I have this very old Farsi that I don't even, it's not even worth mentioning, like I said before. So, anyways, my principal was Bastaki original in Karachi, living in Karachi. They had come from Eden. Anyhow, so she said her mother had said Nazar Bud, yani evil eye on you. Kisi ki nazar lag gayi, like we say in Urdu, on her wedding night, because she had this boil or something under her eye. So they were saying people are saying she looks like Sophia Loren and all this on her wedding. So at that time in 1990, in St. Joseph's College, I just kept my mouth shut and didn't say anything. Boasting uh, that I just felt that, yeah, we have this. But my grandmother said that take your nazar out by giving charity when she had come to live in a house. So what happened is I had become like something different, and I was like, no, I'm not going to take my nazar out, or by giving charity like that. I had told myself that this is against my principles. To save my life, take nazar out. So not being in these rituals also, and not believing in these things. I was like a alien English person, European person in Pakistan now. So I was in St. Joseph's College, and I went and I bought this uh, Burmese roll, or they call it like those vegetable. This time, I think maybe they didn't have the vegetable roll, what they call it. Uh, Kachori also they didn't have. So there was some meat, the meat with the roti roll, right? So okay, I bought that, and I was holding it, and an eagle kite came, you know, and snatched it from my hand. I didn't get any this thing from their nail, they're very strong, the nails and all. I didn't get hurt at all, but the eagles snatched away my food that very day. So that night, or my maternal grandmother had told me she had come to live in our house, visiting us for a while. So she told me, take out some charity, because there could be evil eye on you and all this, right? For yourself. So give some charity. And I didn't say anything to her, but I felt, I felt that I should not take out charity, uh, give it to the poor, to take the thing off me. Yeah, that's just so not nice, right? So selfish. And to use the poor for this. So this is how my thinking was at that time. I don't mean to boast, right? But so I have to say this. So I went to college. This very the same the next day morning came, and I had to go to college. And then when I got something to eat, and there was no vegetable roll, but there was this meat roll with roti wrapped around it. So I took that, and the eagle came, kite came, and took it. So, surprisingly, her eldest sister, my grandmother's maternal, Irani, also Shiraz, from Shiraz, but they were not Pakistanis and married to Pakistanis. One was married to a Sindhi Pakistani, one was married to a Khoja Pakistani. My grandmother was married to Khoja Sindhi. Anyway, so her eldest sister used to give these kites, eagles, or they call it kites, like falcon eagles. On Saturday, used to give this all this liver and from the animal, you know, to these kites, like throw it up, eagles, sorry. So throw it up, and the kites would start coming and take it. Actually, even the crows would come, but actually it was for the kites. So surprisingly, a kite eagle came, right, and took it. So my mother also used to do this on Saturdays. Uh, Sometimes, we go on up on the roof, if we have a roof, and then we throw the galeji liver of the animal, and we get it from the market, and meat and all this, and give it to the eagles. It's very good for the house, they say, to remove, cleanse all that. It's nice. Anyways, I wasn't now participating in all those things, but very, like, I wouldn't say, oh, it's nonsense, but very, like, gracefully just leave it, just be quiet and feel that I wish they would. Okay, it's a culture, and we know that evil in the past, this is the way they used to deal with it to protect themselves and their house. So we're going to the past again. It's coming. I also went into, first, I mean, not these medications, chemical, but homeopathy and herbal. So I also am started to go back to the past, and there are some bad things in me too that I need to improve. But for the life of me, I could not. Uh, so again, Hindustan or wherever, if there's a genuine case like a physical hurt, uh, so there's this thing, threat or something, you can. I don't know how it is in India, whether you can go to the police and whether they will take your complaint. You can cut an. They say FIR kato. So I don't know what it is in English, how they say it. You can make a police case against him, against the people who are discriminating against Muslims. You can, gather cases in India against these Hindus who are doing it. Gather the cases. At least you can get up. I couldn't get up. And then see here in this city, in that city, there, gather the cases and go to the court of India. High Court, we have Okay, in Karachi, I know we had Sindh Court, High Court, and Supreme Court. So what's the equivalent to? First, take your case to Sindh Court if it's not that huge. Or so like that in India, they must have these courts. So what are they called? Tribunal courts or smaller courts. You can take them there. Take the cases. What? So you see, I was told by someone, even my brothers and all, like, do not get into these controversial. Do not accumulate. Although yes, I would love to help the world. So in my way, I'm doing as much as I can and however I can. So if please don't complicate things for me. Please help me make things simple, life simple. But it's not simple. I know it's very treacherous. The world is very treacherous, and so are the Muslims included in it. Pakistan, what was Pakistan against Shias and all this? Ahmadis. But my case is that okay, on included human rights are included. But if there's a murder, if a Hindu has murdered these Muslims or are threatening them, take the case to the Indian court and see whether you will. This is very you take it. The system is there. The justice system. It can't be as bad as Pakistan, can it? The Asia Bibi's case. It can't be like Asia Bibi's case, right? Hindustan. So please don't complicate things further for me. Already, schizophrenia, uh, people cannot believe that I have been shocked. So gather, even on YouTube, gather the case, how many, what violations against Muslims in Hindustan. At least take that step. You have the evidence. So I'm to avoid controversies, although on human rights I will be talking about them as they go on, like Salman Rushdie got stabbed. This thing we can do when we can't, our part we can do in that. So you do your part in that also, but please don't bring your other things. Hindustan mein kya ho raha hai? When for 9 years we waited for Asia Bibi, okay. Yes, but it can't be as bad as Pakistan, can it? Asia Bibi's lawyer was killed. So is it as treacherous as India? I know that Indians, some of them are India, Pakistan, PIDC. We had a PIDC area in Karachi. So in our childhood, when we used to go for pan there, my father and his friend, the my father's friend's daughter used to say, Pakistan, India, dono chor hai na? So at least she was, as a child, she was, you're saying, no, only Hindustan is only chor. You can't say that. नहीं, दोनों कहो ना, दोनों चोर हैं. Pakistan, India, दोनों चोर. When we used to reach PIDC for the pan. So Jenny used to say, I remember, Pakistan, India, dono chor. Her name was Zainab, but we used to call her Jenny. Jenny. Gujarati, my father's friend was Gujarati. Pakistani. Okay, so like that. Be fair and square. Even the daughter, we were young, used to be fair and square. Pakistan, India, dono chor. तो ये है. About false gurus, I've spoken here so harshly. You can even, if you're very concerned about India join, open your channel for it. And also a YouTube channel like I'm doing, do that. Also go to Republic TV, YouTube channel. It's there on YouTube. So I was supposed to avoid, cut down on the controversies as much as possible. My own life is a controversy here. And such a, sorry, I just put something in my mouth. So I thought they were going to give me cancer from a distance because they gave my grandaunt's Mimi. And these things were coming and they were very bad for me because my grandaunt was one of a billion. She was a service lady and she wasn't like the Canadian Pakistani friend, contribute and we'll adopt this and I want to do this. And she was such a, uh, she loved someone else, but he got married to her sister. She kept quiet for the rest of her. Never heard her complain. So I have this song I dedicate to my grandaunt Mamie, service lady, but never spoke about her services to her brother's house, my grandfather and my grandmother in their house, being a spinster, taking their children to school, this, that, making food and whatnot, giving us tea in our hand, getting up early for my uh, her niece's exams when she was in St. Joseph's and I was little. She was now my aunt was in my house, and so Mamie came, my grandaunt, her aunt, and I saw her getting up. I just my eyes open, and she was sitting on the floor of our big room at the door after having prepared breakfast for us, tea, everything for her niece. She had everything ready because her niece was studying for an exam in St. Joseph's College in 1970 somewhere. Sister Emily was the principal then. She got my grandaunt later in 1985 or 86 got cancer, and there's a big story behind it because later on, another aunt, got married, my mother's sister, and she wanted to live in that house, her aunt's house, where Mamie was staying later on. And this aunt had jinns possess her. 3. Later on, Abdullah came, and I don't know, first it was Ruqayya. She became the daughter of jinns, and she was possessed in my room. So these jinns, and this occult practices, they have an adverse effect. They say the jinns on your bones, calcium, they suck their food. Some say their food is the bones. So don't chew on this is like, old style thing. Don't chew much on the chicken bone. Leave it for the jinns. Because Park Jinsby and all this and so many weird things we've heard. But anyways, I don't. Let's not insult the old times. Maybe they had their own thing now. We don't know. I can't put myself in their shoes. But this is what humans we're into. And who do we think we are? Educated human beings? We're not educated. Yeah, we've become very civilized, but the cruelty has become very sophisticated also. like in the capital system, in this what do you call it, that companies and all, you know. Um, we've become very sophisticated. You see here, I mean, in the United Arab Emirates, such strict laws and all this. In my father's country, but you see, you can't, you you know, you're suppressed. Like there's so much control because the laws are very strict, and if you lax them, we have so many cases now. I was reading in Khalij Times, murder here, robbery there, God knows what, still happening here. That's unacceptable for me. Like, oh my God, it's happening in Dubai when the laws are so strict. So, what do we do? So, even being aggressive is not allowed here, like with your hands or something, or shouting out on the streets and like that. What do? We find clever ways, cool, calm, cutting ways sometimes. I've even encountered this here in the taxis or somewhere, in Hindus, Indians living here. So the we there's hardly any compassion or care for human beings in the heart of people. But just because they get money, and Sri Ravi Shankarji also said in one of his, I don't want to, oh yeah, I'm quoting him. I'm not quoting him, but it was like he said that, the have a good day, have a great day, thank you so much, and all this in business areas and delivery, or like that, we say to each other. It's all because of we're getting paid for it. Now, you see, the air hostesses getting paid for to smile. Grooming happens, right? They are paid for it. Have a nice day. Hope you had a nice journey. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Thank you so much. Have a great day. They stand there, some of them as we're leaving the plane. So it is all because we are paid, and that's why we do this. I think Sri Ravi Shankar mentioned it in his own words some time back when I was following him on Facebook. And we find very sophisticated ways now when we get angry at someone to cut them off, or to say, to get back at them, revenge. Or if we are, maybe we get an innocent person because our boss, you know, and we feel, or some taxi driver told me, Emiratis, what Emiratis are, proud, or this and like that, what you people are. And then we find a way to get the poor Emiratis. Oh, what Pakistanis can do to the poor, if really, if, yeah, that they could, what revenge they could. Sorry, so don't mean, see, I don't mean discrimination, but I've lived in Pakistan and I know that they could, if you get a chance, it's bottling up in Pakistanis. So, but for so many years, like even my mother was at the airport, like, oh, my Pakistanis are working in this heat. She thought there were these Pakistanis working at the airport on the, runway. Uh, excuse me, so I'm chewing on something. So now, where to start and where to stop? Like, I don't know, I'm not prepared for this. And so I got help from Hindus thinking that I will get well, but now maybe Africa, Egypt, I found this Eye of Ra uh, on YouTube. So my battle against Okay, why I got into this black magic thing is because a lady in London also told me, not only in my family in Pakistan, some of my family members, but a lady in London also told me there's this black magic on you. The sorcerer is not giving up. The sorcerer is unstoppable and expert. You need to get help. If you don't get help from me, get it from outside. So I found someone, I thought, in Karachi over the internet. And then I met him. I went to his house in Karachi. I met his family. His father was a judge in Sindh court at that time. Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi's name. So he brought Arbab Shah. And Arbab Shah's, his friend's older brother, has had the expertise to see if it's in my mental, if I have a mental sickness, a delusion, or psychosomatics, if I'm psychosomatic, or if this is real. So before coming that day to my place, 7th January, somewhere 2001 or 2, uh, in Karachi, what happened is I felt excruciating, unbearable pain during while I was sleeping. This is the first time I felt that pain, excruciating pain. So when he came to my house with Yusuf Zaidi and his brother Arbab Shah, his name was Sikandar Shah, and he's a follower. He's not even a Shia. He's a follower of Abdul Qadir Jilani, saint. So they are called Maimans. Some of them, I don't know. They come from the Maiman community. I'm not. So. Uh, so he said, Sikandar Shah, the expert in taking out, he could, get the spirits and things out, exorcise you. Said that, at first I thought it was all in your mental, in your mind and all this, but it's not in your mind. And then on the, wall, from the wall, some noise came, tuck. So he said, see, yeah, something, there's some spirit, like he was trying to, but he wasn't scaring me. He didn't say it in a way that would scare me. He said, see that thump thing? Yeah, so it's like uh, I saw it, and I saw a black woman, figure of a black woman attached to my back later on also, and the excruciating pain went on. That's later. I hope I don't forget to say that also during my sleep late after this. So this was the beginning of this excruciating pain, unbearable physical pain I felt in my sleep. And that would make me wake up, but very difficult. Like I'd be nailed and unable to gain full consciousness. So he said, you're right. He said, no, this chronic fatigue and all this, it's not a delusion. It's it's not your delusion, wahem. It's true. I could see it, and that's why I tried to remove this. And I said, "How can you give me protection? Will this spirit?" And the spirit was a Muslim lady. He told me, but he didn't give me the name of the lady. So I said, "Will the spirit come back to me? I'm going to Dubai, and all this. Will the spirit attack me?" And so I had the spirit attack me while in my alpha level, they say, in my sleep level, when I'm resting very, I noticed that was the time the attack was most strong, intense. I could feel bodily, like physical pain at that time, and now I feel the body pain. It's long term, but it's not that excruciating. While in my sleep, it was the attack, and I felt it was like a black woman and black, and so and it was a female. And what else was there? Yeah. So I one during sleep, I was like, someone was saying Allahu, Allahu, and this lady was screaming, the spirit, oh, and something like this. That there was in Karachi, year 2000, early year 2000, and it went on. It got worse in our house. A videotape came out of VHS without us doing anything, and asked. My sister was upstairs where the lounge we have, sitting room. And I was like, who touched did anyone touch the remote control? Because I'm sitting there and I saw, or I was passing by, and I saw that the video was on. They wanted to watch the movie, but somehow something wrong with the video VHS. That Fizza, that movie, Indian movie, they wanted to watch. It came out of the video VH on its own. If you've known about the VHS videos, we had it till year 2000. So we were still using the video in year 2000, early years. Until later on, now it's DVD only and all this, CDs. And once I was talking to Yusuf Zaidi on the internet, and my sister was in Karachi. She had not gone abroad for work. I mean, my father's country, UAE. She had not come here. So she was in Karachi. I was in Karachi talking with Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi, and she was praying in a room. And I was out in the lounge with the computer she had bought with her money, saved money, and we shared the internet, family internet, and all this. So all of a sudden, my sister's head was like, she told me, she came to me and she blew on me, and I said, "What's wrong? Why are you doing this?" So she said, "No, no, Adi." She calls me Adi, right? Not Zahra. So I'm Zahra Berserk. So she said that while she was praying her obligatory prayer, one of them in the daytime, uh, her mind was like completely like, pray for her, pray for your sister, pray for your sister. And she said she wanted to like break her namaz, and we're not allowed to do that. It's a big guna, right? And she was like, she became so restless. So someone had come, started to do some more mischief, the mischief getting stronger. In London, I was told by a Kuwaiti brother when he got the Zaicha out, I said, my face gets hot, my head gets hot all of a sudden, like it's really strange. Can you, something strange is happening to me. And the lady had already told me in London. So I said, oh, you know how to do the Zaicha thing? To find out if there's black magic, anything on us, with numbers. So he asked for my date of birth and my mother's name. And he said, Kisi ne to koi masti ki hai. Because he also a Kuwaiti, but from his mother's side, Pakistani. So he knew Urdu. He knew Urdu like Ghalib, and he's never been to Pakistan. Ghalib Urdu. And my Urdu, I've lived in Pakistan, but it's terrible. So he said, yes, someone has done some mischief on you and your mother. But how to get this mischief out, how to break the mischief, he did not give me the solution. And he perhaps didn't have the solution. So this way, a person going insane, you know how hard it was for me to accept. For many years, I couldn't accept. And people saying that this is schizophrenia, and I'm going around from pillar to post. When Yusuf Zaidi left for London, I wanted to go. I wanted to go. It was too late now, and much later, I asked for his father's name, his mother's name, and he gave it to me over the phone. And I wanted to go to Sindh Court. No, sorry, his father was in Sindh Court, yeah, not High Court. This right, door to door, to I wanted to help Pakistan, Karachi, get the mafia, break this beggars mafia, find proper help for the beggars on the streets, someone to help me, um, and to bring a crackdown on the beggars in a good way. Like, it's not. You see, if um, the middle class or the poor people, like I had to take I had to do something here illegal, and I would have done it again. So it's not the poor people to be blamed, right? When you are in a desperate situation or condition, uh, so it's who is to be blamed, right? I cannot blame the poor people of Pakistan, because here also I will take some thing. I will do something illegal for my convenience, because my head starts to hurt when there's heat, and the taxis are not stopping. If I find a illegal way to reach home, I'm going to. Of course, I took recourse to it. After all, so who is to be blamed? Can't blame the poor mafia beggars that the government of Pakistan has made. It's the government of Pakistan that is corrupted. It's these high people, then they go abroad. So my aunt's husband, he was a poor tutor man, this Kashmiri Pakistani, and he was married to Punjabi. And then he came, my grandfather somehow allowed her to bring the man, the tutor. He was very strict about this, my father's father, when he was alive. But he allowed this one. He said, okay, you want a man to come and teach you tuition? Okay, he allowed it later on. And then he got, she said, this tutor told the aunt that he wants to marry her and leave his first wife, Punjabi first wife. So she agreed, uh, and then got married, and then wanted to live in her aunt's place. They didn't have money. So who was providing him money that she became so rich, even richer than my father's? Like, once we didn't have proper clothes to wear, for my cousin's engagement or baat paki. And she was offering me, she was like, wear better clothes. And she had a house, and she was like providing a free apartment for her other sister. This tutor man, Kashmiri origin, Shabir, and they've gone to Canada, and they ruined my family friend's life also. So to retrace, Baba, trace her money. Where is that money? Where did that money come to? And she also told me that her this in-laws side were related to this one, Sharif, Nawaz Sharif. All that corruption in Pakistan. And they do it in such a clever way that even in UAE, they run away. UAE can't catch them. What is Interpol for them? God knows. But they make buildings, and we have this. I don't know what they do, but once my father here, like you can't catch these Pakistanis doing illegal things, Indians doing Asians doing illegal things here. So the whole system is, and even the great advanced system, they've taken out now. We can't call the taxis. Application needs to be downloaded. What if you have a Huawei phone and you can't download your application? And sometimes in the malls, the Wi-Fi is not working. This is even worse. I mean, at least I just want that old system where I can call a taxi. So I'll call an illegal private taxi in my condition where after an hour I couldn't find a taxi roaming around here and there in the heat with my health condition. So this happened. So you can't blame the poor people, right? Need to blame, get the. So any Muslim leader also to my detriment, I appeal to them. Uh, See, Saudi Arabia now is changing, reforming. I can't sit here and abuse the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. I mean, in our religion, in the Quran, God says to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, but first kind words and all this, appealing. What can I do?" So thank God, Saudi Arabia is changing. I'm much grateful. Now, what can I do if he was a? People have put blame on him that they killed this journalist. What's his name? Sorry, I forgot. In memory of Jamal Khashoggi, I think, or Jamal Khashoggi. So, as much as like people, they should be punished for it, whoever killed him. As much as I would like that, but now what can I do? So, controversies of what can I do? There's so much injustice. The rich people, they're getting away by doing such unspeakable crimes against humanity, human beings. They get away. But I don't believe that. I think, I don't know, but the Crown Prince Salman, King Salman's, Mohammed bin Salman, I think he's, give him a chance. What can we do? I think he's bringing a reform. Even in Islam, he tried, and he's doing it in his own wise way. Uh, So maybe, the third generation, someone gets up and wants to correct the system and the forefathers, what havoc, what thing they've made. And so wants a reform, give him a chance. What can I do? Abuse him? Like Army Nawabi abused Crown Prince King Salman's son, Mohammed bin Salman. So I'm trying to be as honest, as transparent and all this. But, my grandaunt did say, Neki karo darya mein fek do. And my grandaunt's nephew told me, because he's in Oman, he came to Dubai, we met. Uh, so he said, not even that. Forget it that you've ever done a good deed, right? It's not us. So we are into this, like we forget good deeds. It's not even us. The good comes from Allah. So humble, truly humble. So that we will not feel that, we gave so much, but little was given to us. And then on top of that, she got stomach cancer. Does she deserve that? And for my principal was a rich lady. For her, I felt in Pakistan we needed, in Karachi, we could not do justice to that lady, that principal of St. Joseph's College, Mrs. Munira Gulzar. Fikri family, right? And my poor aunt died. She gave so much. Whereas this dodgy aunt of mine had once come because her older sister, was living with us, and my mother had arranged the wedding later on. But she came, the younger sister who was possessed with this jinns and all later in my room. She tells my aunt, her sister, that they're going to keep you, like about her oldest sister, that they're going to keep you in the house and not get you married. Do you think we are like you? I wanted to say, but I didn't say that. How you kept Mamie, and then how you took Fairy Auntie, kept her in the house, and gave her $600 Canadian dollars. Kept her in your house. You broke Fairy Auntie's house in Canada, taking her there. What kind of people are they? Right? So she thought that her own sister would make her, call her, my late beloved aunt, her sister. This was Muttahar was a godmother. I hope she's listening to this. Or if her children are on yes, I've shared this on Facebook. I'm not a rumor. I'm not a rumor monger. I'm now, enough is enough. So I've brought the family cases because I was telling Fairy Auntie's son-in-law, who was my second cousin, to help Fairy Auntie in Canada. How can we help her? You see, there are some very cunning Pakistanis. Even my aunt. They're going. So about Gaur was in year 1980 somewhere. She came, 79, and she said that they're going to keep you like her own sister, older sister, against her, and not get you married, Yani. Meaning. Oh, oh, oh. So when a proper proposal came and her wedding took place, her nikah took place in our house. Her, my mother arranged and all this. So this, it's the crimes. My point is that all this happening to make you realize, to hit you with the reality of life, and yet a very sophisticated way. We can't get these people on covert narcissists. Even America is some of them uploading videos, help. We can't put them in jail. A gaslighter, we cannot if he turns out to be a murderer. Like there's a movie on a gaslighter that turned out to be a murderer, or psycho. So, what the Western system is lacking also in this. If you see, no psychiatrist can tell us, or they won't go to a psychiatrist. Have you seen the movie Psycho? Murder happened. We can't catch the murderer. So please, I have gone to a psychiatrist, schizophrenia. I'm not going to kill people. Um, Schizophrenics are not monsters. And there's another thing. Okay, they gave me schizophrenia, and they wanted to isolate me already, with very, very clever, cunning way, like separate me from a loved one, family, friend. We became my a teacher, and then isolate me. Like I don't like this. I can't. Like very clever way, and it'll be too late to help people, to save them. So I've made this global crime prevention group on Facebook. And if you could brainstorm, someone could brainstorm, help me here, um, how we can stop these gaslighters and psychos. If a family member can find out that, oh, he's a psycho, maybe, help help your brother, your family member to go to a psychiatrist, but do it in a most graceful, caring way. Human development. So, in the course of civilization advancement, we are very civilized people. I've even written a thing on that. It's on my Facebook. So, right now, I won't be able to see your live chat comments. Crime prevention. How can we do it? Covert nurses, the psychiatrists online on YouTube are trying to help, but I think we need more help before a person becomes schizophrenic. Society also should help support. Sometimes the society has we have become okay. I can't do we in the course of in the course of human civilization. What are our tools here? You know, grown-ups playground. This I wrote a long time ago in my O levels. Grown-ups playground. In the course of evolution, human beings have taken the forefront in the development of civilization. What we need to know and ask ourselves is if we have really developed as adults, mature, meaning mature people. It is simpler than examining the development of civilization. We are not concerned here with the development of human civilization in terms of material acquisitions and progress, but rather in terms of the concept of grown-ups or an adult. With time and due course, we become adults, and what depicts our adulthood is the approach of a certain age and onwards. What may complicate our subject is the issue that is age, that is age the main factor that brings adulthood. I would say that I would say that to a certain extent, age is the main factor that brings adulthood, but it is certainly not the only factor if we are talking about adulthood in quotation marks, in the proper sense of maturity. Can you imagine yourself getting older with time in total solitary or isolation from the world? If this is so, you will lack experience, which comes with interaction with the world. So now experience and all this, you can learn all this press of mine has fallen apart. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Human development, I mean, how to become good human beings. You will be 66 or 99 and not know much about anything. Knowledge, experience, and interaction with the world are essential and a natural process which enhances and accelerates growth. Just the mere process of adding age to your life does not necessarily make you an adult. So you can read I'm okay, you're okay. Games people play, that book also. The parent, we can remain as parents, don't do this, do this, or use our reason. And I thought reason could save you also, not only love. Uh, what do I call it? The heart's intelligence, but also the mind's intelligence can save you, save the people. So let's say that's why I wrote this. So let's say that naturally I'm not an isolated being. I have knowledge and experience, and so, in the true sense, I have satisfied the requirements of mental growth. In a multiple choice question, I would mark my answer given above to be wrong. If knowledge, age, and experience teach me to backbite, mock at others, or throw temper tantrums, compete, and be jealous, then I must reconsider the statement that experience, knowledge, and age contribute to growth. Problem. In adults, grown ups, I hope you know the difference between a mere act of maturity and a true mature attitude. Or maybe what we would say is um, God knows how I can say this now after reading Jiddu Krishnamurti. A true mature attitude. So we have learned all this, how to be mature human beings, and this is on maturity, wisdom. You can add your religious wisdom into this. Let's see if this helps. Because if maturity is just a put on act or imitation, so you become a parent and you're competing or comparing yourself to others, then your inside, your mind, will always be contaminated and susceptible to unhealthy thoughts, whereas the true mature mind remains uncontaminated. So, looking for that true mature mind that remains uncontaminated. So, religions have given us furqan, discrimination, right from wrong. Does your consciousness, does your conscience prick you when you do something to another person? You do something wrong or not? Your consciousness, does it prick you or not? Some people like to act grown up in order to be accepted in their society. The actor of maturity will only follow suit and never give serious thought to his actions, whereas a true adult will seriously think before performing an act. The real adult's serious thoughts will contain facts about rightness and wrongness, discrimination. For Khan, he will, in other words, put his conscience to sincere work. Like in logic, we were reading in Karachi in our classes, altruism, what is right, what is wrong for human beings, Hume, Kant, you name it. Who wants to be an adult when all it does is live on man made facts or reality? What a dreadfully dull life. Only facts and reality, dreadfully dull. You want some child to come in, have fun. Well, let me tell you that an adult has a free child. It is tainted with a free child, which makes it healthy. I use the word tainted, but it is mixed at heart. We say she's young at heart or he's young at heart, even though his age is 60. So innocence, that innocence should be there. From the book, I'm okay, you're okay. See, I had that book and I read it, quoting it. Having a playful attitude does not mean that you are lacking maturity. Or maybe because I use this word attitude, I cancel, I mean, some of it. So playful behavior or disposition would be better because attitude is learned. Maybe we should be. So I've been thinking what to do. Should we go into nature, become natural people? As city people, we have become sophisticatedly evil. Every person has a free child, and it is necessary to keep that free child to avoid becoming a robot. So, also the robot, mechanical living. Maturity then does not mean not enjoying life. It is not immature to sing with ecstasy as long as you're not hurting anyone. Maturity is to mind your own business, and immaturity is to probe into others' lives. Maturity is having a sense of freedom and originality without ever letting yourself or anyone down. It is immature to be shrewd, and cunning to the extent that you cut others with your tongue and skills. And if this is the case with adults and mature human beings, then I must say that maturity is remaining innocent or a child, and I would remain innocent. I would rather prefer being a child. Some people play dangerous games and have vicious toys. Sometimes a person will age to play the game of jealousy and vengeance. They will try to hurt the person who has hurt them. His toy will be the other person. In the game of pride and playground of the rat race, the toy is the seesaw syndrome. You know that seesaw that when you want to go up, the other person goes down? So I call it the seesaw syndrome, where one person, in order to go up, puts the other person down with a thump. A truly mature person avoids such dangerous games. His tool is understanding and forgiveness. He does not step into the playground of immature people. Not that he is unaware of such human frailties of immature people, but he has regard and pity for them. Even when the playground is full of mortal and fatal games, a mature person shows concern and care. He accepts the existence of human frailties with courage and offers godly mercy and compassion. Courage is strength and a meritorious quality of an adult. If you have read the story To Kill a Mockingbird or the book, then you will know in what context I'm mentioning courage. The courage that comes from patience. Patience which comes from a sound mind accompanied with right action. So we need a sound mind to get the right action coming out of us. Each one of us are in a playground, playing games such as judging each other's degree of performance in life, condemning each other if we fall short of our expectations, or they fall short of our expectations, and pointing fingers at others, brackets when the three fingers are pointing at our own selves, close bracket. Who is to say that our own mere show of maturity qualifies us for this category? That is to be truly mature human being, a wise human being. Who can differentiate the wrinkles on a person's face that come from scorning at the world or one that comes from shedding tears for this world? Who is to rightfully say that I am a complete, real adult? If you do, then you are in for great trouble because you will halt your own growth, and that is another story, meaning another problem. So let go and Let God In, Robert Chuller's book from him. And recently I heard Paramahamsa Vishwananda also say, sorry, not him, but his Bhakt give in his lecture, religious sermon. Paramahamsa Vishwananda, he was talking about the Bhagavad, he was asked about the Bhagavad Gita, and this is why I don't like to, but it's come out, so I'll just say it. What he said was he can sum up the Bhagavad Gita in 2 words: let go. And Dr. Robert Scheller in his book, I think I don't know which book, like Let Go and Let God In. Let me search that also. So I'll be missing the comments here. Let me just check the live comments. No one is commenting. So Let Go and Let God In. Is it in that book that you be happy you are loved? I don't know. But okay, so be happy you are loved by this one, yeah, by Robert H. Schuller. I call him Schuller. You can call him Scholar. I think it's Schuller. I'm not sure. So sorry if I've mispronounced his name. Tough times never last, but tough people do. He's written many books. Success is never ending. Failure is never final. You can become the person you want to be. The Be Happy Attitudes, Robert Schuller. Robert H. Schuller. You see, the Be Happy Attitude, be an extraordinary person in an ordinary world. All these books I'm checking out on my other tab. Google Books. Be happy you are loved. So I'll read a little bit. After explaining how God's love is the ultimate foundation for healthy self-esteem, the celebrated minister discusses the Bible's love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, and turns its powerful message into a prescription for a love-filled life. I'm making so many mistakes. So this is from the Google Books. Google has given me this on the Google search, and I've read it out. Let me see if I can find it here. So that there are no copyrights infringement in my life. Sorry, I've been so careless and terrible that I, do this and very unprinciplized. Be happy you are loved. Be happy you. Yeah, so this is the where I was reading from Google Books. Originally published in 1986, Robert H. Schuller. After explaining how God's love is the ultimate foundation for healthy self-esteem, the celebrated minister discusses the Bible's love chapter, 1 Corinthians 13, and turns its powerful message into a prescription for a love-filled life. Google Books. So you can read it from Google Books. I can go to Google Books, but I don't want to because I have the Zoom problem there. Google Books. Zooming in. So this now my own health. I want to kill myself. I want to die. I don't want to live anymore. So what shall we do? Anyone here? Your feedback, will be, I hope, appreciated by me. Anyone who can, wanting to save people's lives. Truly, like going out. Let's see, anyone? I would really appreciate it. So I was, what can we do about Hindustan, where Muslims, anywhere they're being threatened? What you can do, I said to Haris, I was thinking that Haris Sultan also should be doing, because that's a serious threat also. And you have evidence, like when you find a YouTube video on it, you know, uh, collect all those videos, make a case, ask a solicitor if you don't know how to make a case to help you, a pro bono solicitor, he will make the case for you. And then, or a lawyer. Solicitors are better in this. Or ask a NGO, get organized, and send these videos that are uploaded. Because you see, you have eyewitnesses, you have evidence, you have the video. Send it to the Indian courts. Why are you not doing this? You see, I had to do this on take recourse to social media because I didn't have evidence against my enemy. They were so cleverly doing it. But you have evidence against Hindustan, as you claim. Against what are they doing against the Muslims? Collect them. And if you think that you will be discriminated after, no, there are there's someone, a Muslim, who has been saying things against Hindu, and he's living in India. Zakir Naik was asked to leave India or something, I don't know. But this person is living in India, and he's quite happy. He doesn't care. So yeah, your life could be in jeopardy. You know, like they would in through the back doors try to get you covertly, make life difficult for you. Maybe taxis won't stop for you. Uh, so things like that in India, Hindus, Hin, in Hindustan, Bharat. Uh, so you're living, but there are some courageous. Let me see. Let me check. There were an ex-Muslims were mentioning him. He's saying against India, Muslim scholar in India. What is his name? Muslim scholar. He doesn't care for being, what do you call that? Discriminated against covertly. What was his name? Can't find it. So there are these, and if you're afraid of doing it like this, uh, give your case to someone, a journalist. Oh, if you can't trust, give your case to Vion, Gravitas, Vion, or give your case to someone you can trust in India. So this beef killing and whatever it is called. Oh, here, this. He's the one. Why Indian Muslims must listen to this Pakistani Islamic scholar. What's his name? Arvind Sahara. Not his name. I'm just looking at. Sorry, the YouTube. Yes, I'm going to search for this Muslim, this Pakistani scholar. Achha, he's a Pakistani scholar. Is it him? So he speaks quite openly. God knows what he said against the Indians recently, Hindus. Is it this one? Sorry, the name hasn't come, but it's like why Indian Muslim scholars, why Indian Muslims must listen to this Pakistani Islamic scholar, Arvind Saharan. Is he the one? This person in the middle who talks against, what did he say recently? Sorry, this is my memory. So, about the Hindus, against the Hindus. Or I should put a Muslim scholar in India against Hindus, right? Complain to the Supreme Court, complain to all this, like this. Hindutva. Acha, Hindutva also, Haris Sultan talks against, what's his name, the other one? Guzar Elia. Huh? Gravitas. Al Qaeda threatens India, Muslim nation silent. Tolerance. United Nations on Islamic countries condemning India for prophet's insult. Oh my goodness. So, yes, so I'm going to do false gods and let's see if Prophet Muhammad and the Quran. This is not an insult to Prophet Muhammad. Nasiruddin Shah slams Indian Muslims celebrating Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Very good, thank you. And Manzil Talashkar, grand welcome. Trainer Munawar Zama at Jamia Islamia Ishatul Ulum Akal Kuwa. Sorry, excuse me. Dawat Islam. What's this? So, uh, are these false gods of the Indians? Huh? That the Quran ayats talk about. Let's look at the Quran ayats if I can find any. False gods. Policies, false gods, and the Muslim true God coming, false God and true. Oh, I know to put it's a false. Oh, Teachers' Day. Which is why did it come? Okay, false gods of the Hindus. Bible maybe. Okay, I don't want to go to the Bible right now, right? The false gods of Quran. In the Quran. Any Quran ayats, worship Allah, avoid false deities. Quran, thank you. Living Islam 101. I hope I'm not. No, okay, we'll go here also. No, first we'll go here. I'll go here. We are together, right? I hope so. And do not insult those they invoke other than Allah. Very nicely put. And do not insult those they invoke other than Allah, lest they insult Allah in enmity. So you see this prophet and his Allah, how he's put it here. Very nicely, the conniving, cunning way, without knowledge. So they are always without knowledge, insulting because you insulted their gods. So don't insult their gods. Very nicely put. Unless, that they, lest they, not unless, but lest they insult Allah in enmity without knowledge. Thus we have made pleasing to every community their deeds. We'll talk about the Muslims too, Muslim community. Then to the Lord is their return, and he will inform them about the. I'm sorry, I'm acting funny here. Revile not those unto whom they pray besides Allah, lest they wrongfully. Kya baat hai, kya baat hai. Acting like my father. Kya baat hai, kya baat hai. He took that from an Indian movie. Kya baat hai, maybe, I think. I'm not sure. So, what a thing, what a great thing, right? Who became the enemy and what? Surya Mumtahana. Again, do I have to show you this? So, how cleverly the verse is put. Do not insult the gods unless they revile your gods. Right? So, we have a case on this Indian politician lady. And maybe the case will come on me too. Surya Mumtahana. Who became the enemy of whom first? And these politicians, they have no knowledge. Why is this not going up? Oh, God. Oh, you who have believed, do not take my enemies and your enemies as allies, extending to them affection while they have disbelieved in what came to you of the truth, having driven out the prophet and yourselves only because you believe in Allah, your Lord. If you have come out for jihad, i.e., fighting or striving in my cause and seeking means to my approval, take them not as friends. You confide to them affection, i.e., instructions. But I am most knowing of what you have concealed. You know who they were. Like there was the Sahabas, Prophet Muhammad's time. Abu Bakr, according to the research done by that they were nice with, they were actually polytheists. So this verse is referring to the companions of Prophet Muhammad who were taking these polytheists of his time as friends, affectionate with them, affectionate with Abu Sufyan, Abu Bakr, Umar bin Khattab, and all that. Your great Rashidun, rightly guided ones. Shias have done proper research on it and found out. You confide to them affection, i.e., instruction, but I am most knowing of what you have concealed and what you have declared. You see, God is telling them, the Sahaba, some of them. I just named them, I'm not sure, but you can do your. But why would. Okay. Sunni Muslims, for the sake of God and Prophet Muhammad, right? Your fellow Shia Muslims, can you just for 1 second see that Shias are not your enemies? Neither are the Ahmadis your enemies. They believe in the same book. They may have misinterpreted it according to you. Okay, let's give you that leverage. You believe that they have, could it be intentional or could it be unintentional? Because even your prophet made an unintentional mistake. He was not that God conscious at that time. The revelation was not coming to him. We are told in Surah Azab. And even your prophet did not know when he made an oath to a wife, Surah Tahrim ayat, right? So I appeal to the Muslims' hearts. I appeal to you. You see, if you read Surah Tahrim, the Prophet of Islam did not know that there's another ayat which says, "O believers," and he's supposed to say it to them, declare it to them, "Do not make unlawful for yourselves what Allah has made lawful for you." And then in Surah Tahrim, against the wives, but pleasing those wives who were annoying him, had to say, okay, yes, yes, I won't do it, I promise, or something like that, okay? So he himself is so, he's going against the thing that has to declare, which or has been declared, this ayat. Do not make unlawful, O believers. O believers, do not make unlawful what Allah has made lawful for you. And that's what he did in Surah Tahrim. Then, okay, you can dissolve the oaths. It's concentrated on the oaths. But what about that part where you're not allowed to make unlawful what Allah has made lawful for you? Even the Shia commentary doesn't mention that part. So, for the sake of Allah and Prophet Muhammad, do you give Prophet Muhammad? And the wives annoyed him. You see how you, okay, Allah forgave them? No, you don't know from Surah Tahrim ayats whether Allah forgave them or not. Because Allah goes to the believers and says, oh, believers, do not do what these, indirectly, not directly now. But these wives are not believers now. Okay? Anyhow, but you won't accept that. We want some honest Muslims to come here and accept Surah Tahrim. If you have not properly understood it, what is the guna? What is the sin on you? And then you're blaming Ahmadis, you're blaming the Shias. For the Shias, you say they don't. I know what it is, why they are deviants. Why do you say they are deviants? Your companion is not mad. Who's Imam Ali said you are mad to Prophet Muhammad? Surah Tahrim and Surah Takwir ayat. Imam Ali said your companion is not possessed. Imam Ali said you are possessed, Ya Rasulullah. Why does it address those verses as your companion? Rasulullah is not possessed. Your companion, Rasulullah, is not mad. For the sake of Allah and Prophet Muhammad. There are ayats like this, and you know it, and yet you avoid them, and you put the blame on Shias. So for the sake of Prophet Muhammad, be in peace, amicably accept each other. You know what Umar bin Khattab did? How can the Shias accept him? For you, the right way pattern of thinking is that he made a mistake. But you know who is Madar Ghamkhar? Yeah, okay, Madar Ghamkhar, or to hurt Fatima. So it's in your books, Sahids, right now. Okay, leaving this ayat aside, you see, I will come to this, so I have to, you see, Umar, so whoever hurts Fatima hurts me. This I checked when I found out Sunni Shia. When I found the Samavi's books, then I was guided and all this. He mentions this. Whoever hurts Fatima, or I found it myself, I don't know. Whoever hurts Fatima in the Sunni hadiths hurts me. Rasulullah says it. But then you're going to bring out those things which Rasulullah have said good about Abu Bakr and Umar bin Khattab, right? And you don't know. You see, Sahih Bukhari may have just, as Bukhari may have just collected the hadiths and put it there, but the Shias discriminate. They try to find out who was, the right one after Prophet Muhammad, that the ummah would not be uh, divided and to save the ummah, and who snatched away the haqq. So whoever hurts Fatima hurts me. So for the sake of Allah, hadith, Sunni sources, Sunni hadith. Now, who hurt Fatima? Whoever hurts Fatima hurts the Holy Prophet. Shias, thank you. They've given it to me right away. And this, you can then check the references. It's in your Sunni.com. Okay, result is showing. Fatima is part of me. Allah's apostle said, narrated Al-Miswar bin Makhrama or Makrama, Sahih al-Bukhari 3714. Sunnah.com, thank you. Allah's apostle said, Fatima is a part of me, and he who makes her angry makes me angry. And I'm sorry if you don't distinguish between, you have not found out between the Sahabas. And so what happened? Okay, this I found, and I'll go back. Hurt. Whoever makes her angry makes me angry. Oh, acha. Hurt. Whatever upsets her upsets me. Facebook pe hai. It's on Facebook like this, right? Fatima is a part of me, and what hurts her hurts me. Can it be understood from the fact that the Prophet got angry on behalf of Fatima that she was infallible? Islam QA.info. Thank you. Also, you can check. Now we have everything on the tip of our fingers, all this knowledge. So then you say that what happened here was a mistake. Oh, yes, because you see, Shias, Rasulullah also made a mistake. She was about death of Fatima. She was about 18 or 27 at the time, according to Shia and Sunni sources, respectively. God knows what's happening to my tongue, sorry. The Sunni views is that Fatima died before grief, from grief, from grief after Muhammad's death. Shia Islam, however, holds that Fatima's injuries during the raid by Umar directly caused her miscarriage and death shortly after. Now, please give some benefit of the doubt. Did Umar al-Khattab burn the house of Fatima Zahra? Shia scholars reject the story. Okay, now even Shia scholars reject the story that Umar bin Khattab beat up Fatima. And he didn't burn, but the Milli Chronicle. The Shias claim that after a few days the Prophet died, Umar went and beat up Fatima. Now tell me, how can they are not your enemies, but they love? Why? On basis where there's a lot of hadiths saying that Umar bin Khattab did hurt Fatima from the Sunni sources. There are hadiths they cannot rule out. If someone wants to kill you, she was about 18. This is Wiki what? Wiki Shia or Wiki Islam or Wikipedia, right? So Wikipedia. Now you can read all this, but I just a little bit so that you understand what I mean. That you see, how can I show you the truth when but I will still keep trying to show you the truth. When the Muslims are not united, What kind of reason are you using? And they are not your. If the Shias for 400 years cannot explain it to the Sunnis, how will I be able to save you people? Or right? So we need honesty. Then I will fail in showing you. You'll put some blame on me and say she's this and she's that. You'll try in other ways to discourage me. If they gain and my health also, you will play on that. If they gain dominance over you, they would be, if they haven't yet done it. But when you gained dominance over them, Surah Tawbah, what happened? You wiped them out of Makkah. You killed them, persecute them, Jews even of Medina. You put the blame that false mongers, false rumor mongers on Jews. Those false rumor mongers. At least there should be a hearing. Like you can't just go. Shias would understand this. I hope so. Because you see, there were not many Sahabas who were uh, true Muslims at that time of Prophet Muhammad. How many were there? Abu Dhar, Miqdad, oh, Imam Ali, oh, they were. So, no, Salman Farsi, Bilal Habshi, right? Salman Farsi, I know, was there. Uwais Karni was not, didn't meet the Prophet, but had this. So, Uwais Karni is a Shia, from the Shia side. They do believe he was a true Sahaba, although from a distance. He converted to Islam. If they gain dominance over you, they would behave to you as if, again, please look at this, if. But what happened, Surah Tawbah, like that? So how can I get to your very souls? Never will your relatives know. So who? Abraham and his followers, right? This verse. What does this verse prove? There has already been for you an excellent pattern in Abraham and those with him. When they said to their people, indeed, we are disassociated from you and from whatever you worship other than Allah. We have denied you, and there has appeared between us, there has appeared between us, for what? Because they worshipped other than Allah something, animosity and hatred forever until you believe in Allah alone. So if you can't get your fundament, you can't get it right with the Shias and you can't get it right with the Ahmadis, how will I be able to help you Muslims? You won't be hearing me. So I have to use the Quran ayats. So please, I'm not insulting, but if I prove to you that the Prophet Muhammad was a mass murderer, rapist, this, that, are you going to say I'm still insulting him? Or that justice is to put the person in its place? And the false gods of the, you see, these polytheists, they weren't even enemies. But enmity has appeared now. God is proclaiming this through this ayat. Please examine this ayat properly, where enmity and hatred came from. But there we are told, just because you believe in Allah, so they expelled you, persecuted the one Allah only, monotheistic believers, right? But here I've got him. It's not right. So you can hold on to your religion, but at least come to the unity. You are going to India and saying Indians, Hindus are, uh, but at least first find unity in Shia and Sunni, rather than come here and personally attack someone verbally. Okay, like that. Okay, so now I have to go because the some Muslim thing has come on. I will come back later. Thank you for the likes and all this, and uh, still finding. Let's see if we can battle against evil. If anyone wants to join me here, thank you so much.